Yo, what's up? It's your boy Dizzy, and man, it's been a long off season, man. I could barely sleep at night. I walk around shaking. I got to go to work pretending I like baseball. I mean, it's been a long time, but football is back. Halftime with Dizzy is back, man. I'm so excited to be back watching football, talking football, man. But before I go any further, for those of y'all who watched my video from a couple months ago and I told you be patient when it comes to the setup, one thing you're gonna learn about the Diz, man, is I might tell a joke or two. But I ain't never gonna tell you no lie. I mean, look at this shit back here. Look at you got the Mortal Kombat, you got the helmets up top, you got the trophies, the diploma up there. I mean, cause you know a brother intelligent now. You know a brother intelligent. Man, this in itself deserves a like on the video and a subscription if you ain't subscribed already. I don't know what you're doing, man. And while you do that, I'm going to talk about the game plan a little bit. And if you're not aware, a game plan is what every coach, every team goes into in order to have success. They want to follow it. They want to make sure that they're hitting all the points on that game plan. Everything is on time, on schedule, so that they can have success. And it's the same thing on this show. So let's get into what our game plan for this show is. I'm going to start by talking about who I am, what this show is about, and the goals this season for this channel. I'm going to talk some halftime headlines, which of course are big stories that go on all throughout football, but it's specifically going to be some off-season stories that I want to talk about. Of course, we're going to get into He's Diffy, my favorite segment out of all the segments on the show, and we got some new ones that I'm excited to bring out to y'all this season. We're going to get into some predictions because we got some real good games coming up this weekend. And of course, every halftime ends with a halftime speech to motivate you to get through the rest of the game, man. Before we get into any of that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. I don't want to hear no excuses. I'm tired of running into y'all on the streets, in public, at a party, grocery store, wherever. And, oh yeah, Dizzy, man, I like your videos, man. Keep that stuff. And then I go to look at the subscribers and your name is nowhere to be found. Hit that subscribe button, man.
Don't ask. I said don't ask. I said don't ask. No questions. Just give the money.
Like I said, I'm going to start this episode talking about me a little bit, telling you who I am, why I'm doing this, and what my goals are this season for this channel. My parents named me Donovan, but all the homies call me Dizzy, man. I've been in love with football for as long as I can remember. I grew up playing it, watching it. I always had dreams of going to the NFL and being some big-name football player, and obviously that didn't happen. But I came to the realization that I needed to figure out another career path, figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And one day it just hit me. If I can't play football anymore, why not talk about it? I see people on TV talking about it every day. Why can't I do the same? And I played for as long as I could. I was fortunate enough to go to the collegiate level, played at Rocky Mountain College for 4 years, NAIA school in Billings, Montana. Shout out to all my dogs over there. We're going to cover a lot of Rocky games and Frontier and NAIA games this season, man. Trust. Got my degree, came back home for the last 2 years. This is now my third year doing halftime with Dizzy. I just got home this past November, and the past 2 years it's kind of been about just practicing. Okay, I want to practice being in front of the camera, talking in front of the camera, articulating myself, showing that I can talk football in front of the camera. And I feel like I'm confident in my ability to do that. And now it's more about being myself and showing my personality a little bit. And really, I used to say that it was all practice and that it's not a big deal about views and subscribers. Fuck that now. Real talk. I'm trying to build this platform, build this channel up, man, and really just create a community in this space. I really want this to be a space where it's safe to talk strictly ball. We don't have to talk about nothing else, no politics, no racial debates, nothing like that. And I'm really big on that because growing up, whether it was stuff at home, stuff at school, you know, I'm mad because my elementary crush broke up with me. Football was always my escape. Football was always my go-to. I could forget everything else and just focus on what's going on in between the lines. And when I wake up today, I see all types of BS going on outside my window. You know, my dad watched CNN every day with his old ass. and I see all the madness going on in the world, and I go out to make breakfast, make lunch, and see this person going crazy, that person going crazy, the world's going to shit. And I'm like, let me just go to the room, turn on some Tavon Austin highlights, man. Like, let me just go and escape with football. And that's why I want this channel to be it. We ain't gonna talk about nothing that isn't football. We may talk, some things, some music or something, got my Jordan cleats up there, some fashion here and there, but it ain't gonna be nothing controversial. It's just gonna be strictly talking ball. And like I said, we're gonna have a good time while doing it. My goal, again, is to drive up the sub count, man. I will be doing a giveaway. I'll have more details on that in the next couple weeks, but I'm shooting for 350 subscribers by the end of this football season, man. So let's hit the like, let's subscribe, and let's share with everyone out there that isn't subscribed, man. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah, by the way, I work for Fox Sports, but no, shout out to my auntie Soraya. Shout out to Mike Hill. They helped me get a job there at Fox Sports. I'm in the highlights department. I cut highlights, watch games. It's awesome. And again, I'm tired of pretending like I like baseball. I'm so happy football season is back, man. And yeah, I'm trying to think of other stuff that I could say that would be important right now. I'll get into more and more stuff about myself throughout the season. I don't have any team in particular at any level other than, Bishop Amat at the high school level. So, and we're going to get into that a little later. You're going to see it. I might be a little biased towards them, especially with Baby Bro on the team. But as far as everybody else, it's free game. If I know you're a fan of somebody, you getting roasted when they lose. That's just plain and simple. And you can't say nothing back because I ain't got a team. You can't say I'm biased because I ain't got a team. So with that being said, man, let's get into the halftime headlines. If you're new to the channel, man, I did study journalism for like a semester, because I wanted to go into sports journalism at first, but my school didn't have it, so I didn't major in it. I majored in communications, but I did sports journalism for like a semester. And headlines, when you open a newspaper or magazine, if anyone does that anymore, I know I sure as hell don't. I only know because the book I would read in sports journalism was very old. The big letters at the top, that's the headline. It's like to grab your attention. Breaking news, this, and this happened. And so the halftime headlines is, well, we're in the middle of the week. What are the big stories going into the rest of the week? So in this particular version of halftime headlines, I wanted to talk a little bit of off-season stuff. But I'm going to start by saying what I'm not about to talk about, because I told y'all, if y'all saw my social media, on my Instagram story, my TikTok, I'm not going to be talking about the same shit that everybody else talks about. There's only so much you could say about Shedeur Sanders. There's only so much you could say about Michael Parsons not being signed yet. He's probably getting signed as I record this video right now. Shedeur's quarterback 3. Just get over it, okay? Get over it. That's all I'm going to say about that for right now. What I do want to talk about are 3 NFL teams that I feel won in the offseason. Does that mean they're going to go win the Super Bowl? No. Does that mean they're about to go undefeated, blow everybody out? Not necessarily, but I just feel like where they are today, they are way better than where they were a year ago from today. And I think that they made moves in the offseason that are far more impactful than any move that most, if not all, other teams have made in the offseason. And I want to start with an honorable mention. Raiders. I realized something in the offseason. A lot of y'all that watch my videos are Raider fans. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that until recently. Every time I post a video, talk about any other team, man, talk about the Raiders. Man, what about the Raiders? And I had to really look into it, and I just realized, man, y'all are just excited. Y'all are excited because y'all ain't had shit to root for the last couple years. Derek Carr was ass. Devontae Adams showed up and gave y'all a little bit of hope, but then he just won it out right away. I mean, Coach Pierce, there's only so much he could do. He's still just a coach. He can't go out on the field and play for you. So, I understand why you guys are so excited. You added Pete Carroll, who is one of the best coaches in modern day history. Added Geno Smith, which is better than I don't even know who y'all. I don't even remember who y'all had at quarterback. Was it McConnell? Like it was basically like having me at quarterback. You got Ashton Genty, who y'all think is going to be the next Marcus Allen. Brock Bowers had a historic tight end year last year that probably would be talked about more if he wasn't playing for the Raiders. But I get it. I understand why you guys are excited. I just don't think you're going to be better than fourth in the AFC West. I just don't. It's a loaded division. Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, who all got better in this offseason. And I think you guys are going to be fun to watch. I think you guys are going to be an exciting team for most of the weeks out of the year, but you're not going to go far. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break your guys' heart. I'm sorry to all my Raider fans. I hope you still watch. I'm still going to talk about them when they do good and stuff like that, but you in a tough spot. You in a tough spot. Let's get into the three teams that I think made the best moves, and they all have one thing in common, man. They had a rookie quarterback last year, and it starts with the Chicago Bears. They got the coach. They went and got more weapons in Luther Burden, Colson Loveland, shored up that offensive line, added some defensive pieces, and I'm the biggest fan of the coach, man. If you don't know already, I'm a big Ben Johnson fan, and I think he's going to do great things in Chicago. And I think the biggest question mark going into the season is how is Caleb Williams going to play? And I feel like if that's your biggest question, if your only question is how is your number one overall pick from a couple years ago, how or not a couple years ago from last year, then I feel like you're going to be in a good spot because ultimately this is still a guy who was talked about as one of the greatest prospects to ever come out of college. And I just think that he will figure it out and that Ben Johnson will help him figure it out. And this Chicago Bears team will be pretty damn good. Number two on the list, the guy who won Rookie of the Year last year and his team, Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. They finally got a deal done with Terry McLaurin. They added Debo Samuel, added Laramie Tunsil to strengthen up that offensive line, added Von Miller. This team did way better than expected last year, and they got better in the offseason. So I think that when you add in the fact that they had a full offseason with Cliff Kingsbury, I think this team is going to be really good. I think this team is going to be a top three team in the NFC. If you don't have them rated that high already, I think you will for sure. But I don't think their moves were as impactful as this team, man. A lot of people are high on them. I'm high on them too. I'm not going to lie. The Denver Broncos. Them boys, I'm excited to see them take the field. They played way better than expected last year. Had a great defense, a top 5 to top 10 defense last year, and all they did was add to it. Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga from the Niners. They went and drafted a rookie out of Texas, Barron, the corner, who Sean Payton says they're going to move him to nickel simply because they're so deep already at corner, which includes the Defensive Player of the Year, Pat Surtain. You went and added Evan Ingram. You added a fullback and what's Buddy's name again? Michael Burton, which you probably thinking like, if you don't know his name, then why is it important? It's important because you create an identity over there in Denver. They want to run the damn ball. They want to be smash mouth. How do I know that? They signed J.K. Dobbins and they drafted R.J. Harvey. They're going to run the ball. And on top of all of that, you have a quarterback that would have had an all-time great rookie season and would be talked about way more right now if he wasn't in the same draft class as Jaden Daniels. And that's just the bottom line. So I think this Bronco team has the chance to win the AFC West, which a lot of people think as well. And I think it's because of the moves that they made in this offseason. With that being said, we're going to add something new to halftime headlines, and that's the halftime rankings where I'm going to rank, just about anything. It could be teams, it could be players, it could be damn Marvel movies. I'm a big Marvel fan if you couldn't tell already. Anything, man. And if you disagree with it, you can treat it like toilet paper and shove it up your ass, okay? I'm playing. If you disagree with anything I say, drop a comment and I will address it in the next video. But today, we going to rank the best NFL teams. I got it broken up into tiers, and it's basically based on who I think could win the Super Bowl. Like, how far are you? How close are you as a team to winning the Super Bowl? Okay. And I have it broken up into 6 tiers. Like I said, we're going to skim through the first couple of tiers because I feel like I don't have to explain why I have them where they are. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's start with tier 6. Tier 6 is just labeled, come on now. Like, When you come to me and say, "Hey, what you think about this team?" I'm just gonna be like, "Come on now, like they're gonna be a top 10 pick this year or next year's draft." So like, why are we talking about them in that category? The Saints, the Colts, the Panthers, Titans, Browns, Jets, Cardinals. Like I said, I feel like there should be no disagreement there, and I shouldn't have to explain myself with any of those teams. I mean, they haven't been good in the last few years, and they won't be good this year. Let's move on to the next tier, tier five. I have it labeled as not a believer, which means they may have made some additions in the offseason. They may have some talent here and there, have some talented players, but I just don't believe that they'll truly be a contender. And let's buzz through these. Like I said, I don't think these will be one that I have to argue either. Jaguars, Giants, Dolphins, Raiders, Patriots, Cowboys, Seahawks. Now I know you Cowboy fans heard that and are ready to X out the video. And let me say something, because as I look in the camera, I look at myself in the camera, I see my Cowboy helmet up there. That is the helmet of the only Cowboy team in recent history to win anything. And it's not the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Walnut Valley Cowboys, okay? I'm talking Donovan Clinton, Dyson McCutcheon, the Hidalgo twins, David Krigler, CJ Montez, who else was on that? Jared Jenner, Jordan Valdivia. Man, the list goes on and on. I could go on, and I got shirts with all the names and stuff. I can go on and on. They're better than any team that Dallas has put on the field in the last decade. So, when you see that helmet, don't think I'm a Dallas fan. Just know that is from my roots, okay? From my roots, as my dad would say. That's the Walnut Valley Cowboys. I ordered some stickers because I was going to take that Cowboy sticker off, actually. But now I just might keep it on there just so I can roast the Cowboy fans while having something that represents the Cowboys behind me. So we'll see. But yeah, Michael Parsons still ain't signed. Like I said, he could. I think he's ultimately going to get signed. This is all just being dramatic for no reason. They want to win the headlines, win the offseason by being the most talked about team, but that really means jack shit when you don't win anything. So they added George Pickens. Yeah, Dak Prescott's healthy. Yeah, CD's healthy. But I'm just not a believer. I think they missed their window a long time ago with this group. Let's move on to the next tier, man. Tier 4. I got it labeled as outside the club. Like, you stand outside the club. I wouldn't be surprised if you got in. Eventually you get in, or you find your way in. But right now, what we talking about, I don't get how you get hate from outside the club. You can't even get, you know what I'm saying? Like, they outside the club, and that's the 49ers, the Falcons, the Bears, the Chargers, the Steelers. Here's where we get to breaking it down a little bit. The 49ers, they're outside the club because I just don't know what they're going to look like this year. Like, you lost Debo. There's been friction with Trent Williams. You don't know how Brock Purdy's going to bounce back and respond, how Christian McCaffrey's going to come back from injury, if he's going to stay healthy. Kyle Shanahan, he's going to find a way to win games. That's just what he does. He made it to, what, 2 Super Bowls with Jimmy G? Was it 2? Yeah, I think 2. He made it to at least 1 with Jimmy G. And Jimmy G is no fucking Terry Bradshaw. So, he's gonna find a way to win games, but I just right now, with, again, their losses on offense, the injuries on offense, their losses on defense, I don't see them being a Super Bowl contender or a deep playoff contender. The Falcons, I got to see how Penix looks as the full-time starter. I know he showed flashes last year. I do believe in the weapons he has in Drake London and Bijan Robinson. I want Kyle Pitts to do good so bad. I got a Kyle Pitts jersey in my closet, man. I loved him when he was at Florida. They're kind of moving him to like a more receiver type position. So hopefully he does better. But like I said, I need to see Penix as the full-time starter, see what they're looking like. With the Bears, again, we got to see how Caleb Williams does. Right now, I can't sit there and say you're a bona fide contender if I don't know what you're going to look like. If you're going to look like more of the same from last year, then this Chicago Bears isn't going to do anything different than they did last year. They're going to be mediocre again. And that goes the same for the Chargers. Justin Herbert, man, you broken my heart one too many times, bro. I think the first year I did halftime with Dizzy, I predicted you to be the NFL MVP, and you shitted the bed like a toddler, bro. And that's what you do when you reach the playoffs and stuff like that. So I just need to see you do better. You're under hardball. You got a good running game coming in. You got some good weapons. Keenan Allen's back in the building, which I kind of predicted, by the way. So I mean, I'm just saying, give a nigga some love, give a nigga some props every now and then. Like, subscribe, stuff like that. But again, I have to see it. And the Steelers, oh, the Steelers. They're gonna win because Mike Tomlin's their coach, but are they gonna be a Super Bowl contender with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback? I don't think so. I personally don't think so. But again, I have to see it. We'll see. One thing about these rankings, man, they can change every single week. I might do another ranking in 2 weeks, and the Steelers be a damn Super Bowl contender in the next tier. And let's talk about the next tier. Tier number 3, on the bubble, which means, man, if this guy has a breakout year, or they make this one move, or they're just right there, you know what I'm saying? They can beat probably just about anybody, but they can also probably lose to just about anybody. Who I got in there? Sorry, man, the dot, you know what I'm saying? I've been out of school for a minute, so reading, yeah, I don't do that shit no more. Texans, Vikings, Packers, Bucks, Bengals. With the Texans, I want to see how CJ bounces back. A lot of people say he had a down year and criticize him last year, but really it was just because of what was around him. His old line couldn't block the damn sun out their eyes. All his receiving core got hurt. He basically had me out there running routes for him. So I'm interested to see how they bounce back. I'm interested to see how that old line looks, how his weapons look. I think that defense is going to be nasty. But ultimately they got to score points, and I want to see how they bounce back. I think they can still be a team that makes a deep playoff run, because even with all the things I mentioned and how they struggled last year, they still won a playoff game. So they must not have been that bad. The Vikings, I got to see J.J. McCarthy. You're coming off an ACL injury. You missed the whole rookie season last year. I got to see how you look. Jordan Addison's going to be suspended. Justin Jefferson always kind of has some sort of like soft tissue injury kind of throughout the season. So I just got to see how everything, molds together, meshes together. A lot of people view this team as a team that like can go win the Super Bowl. And I just got to see it. I got to see it with my own eyes to believe it. Same with the Packers, man. Jordan Love is somebody that a lot of people are praising and thinking is going to be the next fucking, I don't know, Jesus Christ. But, I'm going based off what I've already seen. And me personally, I think he should have beat the 49ers 2 years ago after he beat the Dallas Cowboys and went further in the playoffs than he did. But he threw 2 interceptions to throw that game away. And I think people kind of sweep that under the rug. Why? I don't really know why. But over here, nah, that ain't happening. For the Bucks, I think they're a pretty good team. I think that they're probably even better than the Bengals, considering that Baker Mayfield's going to throw the ball all around the yard, and you added Ibuka out of Ohio State to go with Evans and Godwin. Their defense, Todd Bowles is always going to have that defense ready to play. I think they're going to be a really good team in the NFC, but that's just it. They're in the NFC. Are they going to be better than the Lions? Are they going to be better than the Eagles? That I don't know, but it wouldn't, this tier teams, it's like teams that like wouldn't surprise me. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this team went out and made it to the NFC Championship game, made it to the Super Bowl. I just wouldn't be. And again, the Bengals are the last team on this list. Their defense is just so shit. Like they finally came to somewhat of an agreement with Trey Hendrickson, and everyone was going so crazy about it. But I'm just sitting here like, what does it matter? Their defense is not going to be better. Like of course, obviously they're better with him than without him, but they're still going to be ass. Like they're still going to be ass. Them boys, the Bengals defense, they tackle similar to like how Stevie Wonder walks around in a strip club, like kind of like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like Stevie trying to feel something. You feel? And the Bengals, they're blind out there. The defense looks blind out there. That's why Burrow and Jamar and T got to put up 50 points a game if they want to have a chance at winning. And so if their defense can be at least average, they can definitely be in the Super Bowl. But again, I got to see it. Let's move on to the next tier, man. I labeled it as gonna be there, which means NFC Championship, AFC Championship. Don't be surprised if this team is there. I won't be surprised if one of these teams are there. Broncos, Rams, Commanders, Bills, Lions. Broncos, I mentioned all the additions they made. Sean Payton's their head coach. He knows how to win. Bo Nix knows how to win. I think that this is a team that really could be in the AFC Championship game, and a lot of people think they can win the AFC West and dethrone Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think I'm willing to go that far yet, but at the same time, again, I would not be surprised if any of that happens. For the Rams, I think right now it just depends on the health of Matthew Stafford. If Matthew Stafford is healthy, I mean, you added Devontae Adams, which when you think of veteran receivers, you think of guys that are just like, okay, he'll give you 300 to 500, maybe 700 800 yards in the season. No, this is a guy that can still go get you 1,200 yards receiving wise in Devontae Adams, even though he's a veteran. And you got Puka Nakua to go alongside with him. You got Kyron Williams in your run game. Your O line is we'll see how the O line looks, but again, it's all up to Matthew Stafford's health. That defense, I think, is really good and is going to be really good this season, led by Jared Verse. And again, it just depends on the health of Matthew Stafford. If he can be healthy, I think this is a team that can damn well be in the NFC Championship game and even the Super Bowl. Probably could have been in the Super Bowl last year if you go back and look at the tape. Next team, the Washington Commanders, who were in the NFC Championship game last year. Again, I talked about their additions and how they got better this offseason. One thing that does worry me a bit is their run game. If Eckler is your main back, because they just got rid of Robinson, Eckler's a little long in the tooth. He's a little past his prime. So if you're relying solely on Eckler and Jaden Daniels, who's a little more frail, a little skinny, and you don't want him to be taking all those hits up the middle like a true running back. So if that's what you're relying on, I do have questions about that. The Buffalo Bills. I wanted them to go get Terry McLaurin because I still don't think they have a bona fide wide receiver one. And the guy who was kind of your wide receiver one in Khalil Shakir, he's banged up right now. He's dealing with injuries. And I know that there was questions on whether or not he'll be ready to go for the season. But you got Josh Allen, and that's he was supposed to take a step back last year. The Bills were supposed to take a step back last year, and they wound up in the AFC Championship game, I believe. So they can end up right back there again because they have Josh Allen. They have a good defense. But I think that they still need a bona fide number one. If they can make a move to bring someone in, I think that would definitely put them over the hump. The Detroit Lions. This is a team that last year I would have had in tier one easily. But for me, seeing them lose both their coordinators, especially one of them within the division, is huge to me. I wait a minute. Pause on that. It's a big deal to me. I mean, Ben Johnson brought a scheme that was second to none. Aaron Glenn brought that grit and brought scheme as well. That was some of the best in the league. I mean, the Detroit Lions didn't even have a great defense last year, especially once Hutchinson went down and Aaron Glenn still found a way to get stops and to scheme against some of the best offenses in the league. So I want to see how they bounce back from losing both coordinators. And then there's tier one. I got only 3 teams in there, and it's labeled simply the niggas should win it all. I mean, that's just bottom line. That's what we should expect from these teams. And that's Chiefs, Ravens, Eagles. Now, the Chiefs, a lot of people think are going to take a step back. A lot of people think, it's just Chiefs fatigue, really. People want to see them take a step back. They're tired of seeing them in the Super Bowl, which I guess I kind of understand. But at the end of the day, they have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and they find a way to get there every single time. So I think with them being more healthy this year, with them having a full offseason, everyone together and can really gel like a nucleus, I think that they'll be better than they were last year. And last year they were in the Super Bowl. As far as the Ravens, they made more additions. Lamar, it's time, man. It's time. Lamar probably is going to be in the MVP race yet again this year. You still got Derrick Henry, and you got some good weapons around you. You added to that defensive secondary that was already pretty good. So I think it's one of the best rosters in football, and they should go out and win it. Lamar, it's time, man. It's time to perform in the offseason, the playoffs, and go win a championship. And for the Eagles, man, y'all saw in the Super Bowl, just straight belt to ass. That's how they should beat everybody. If we being real, they have probably the best roster in football. with Jalen Hurts at quarterback, which caused a lot of controversy this offseason. A lot of people were sitting there wondering if he's top 10. That's a whole other discussion for a whole nother day, man. But all I know is they got a top roster in the league, and no one should be able to mess with them. And we'll see if that turns out to be true this season. Let's talk some college football, man, as we get excited for some great games this upcoming weekend in week 1 of the college football season. I'm going to be telling you my number 1 question for each Power 5 conference. Now, ultimately, it's only 4 questions because the Pac-12 is no longer the Pac-12. They're coming back, though. They're coming back. So maybe next year we'll be back to 5 Power 5 conferences, and I'll have 5 questions. But today it's only 4. I'm going to start with the Big 12. Is ASU going to be the Big 12's powerhouse? You know how you look around at each conference and it's like, okay, in the SEC, it's like Georgia, or of course, in the past years, it's been Alabama. In the Big 10, Ohio State, maybe Oregon is starting to become that. In the ACC, it's been Clemson for quite some time. Is ASU ready to become that in the Big 12? You look at the Big 12 and you don't see a program now. It's like, okay, yeah, they're consistently great. They are consistently going to be a team that is in the mix, that and in this new playoff system is going to be in the playoffs. I'm wondering if ASU is going to take that step and start becoming dominant in the Big 12 under Coach Dillingham. I think that he has the personality and he has set the foundation and the culture for ASU to become that, and it's ultimately up to them to prove whether or not that is the case. Let's move on to the ACC, man. This is one I want to hear y'all answer to this one for real. Is Dabo Swinney and Cade Klubnik, are they going to be more of Ed Ogeron and Joe Burrow, or Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams? Cade Klubnik opens with the 3rd highest odds to win the Heisman Trophy this past year. Or this upcoming year, sorry. Dabo Swinney, of course, is known as one of the best college football coaches. Are they going to be a duo that actually goes out and wins it and goes out and proves why that's the case, why Klubnik should be that high in Heisman odds, and why Dabo should be considered one of the best coaches ever? Or are they going to be Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams, where it's a really good coach, really good player, but we ain't going to win shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the question that I want to see answered this upcoming season. You're in the ACC. You're not about to play some gauntlet of a schedule of a conference. You're going to be in the playoffs. Are you going to get over the hump? Right now, you open as the 4th best team in the country. Are you going to get over the hump, or are we going to be looking at you as another wasted season? That is a question that I have for the ACC, but specifically is for Clemson. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to the Big 10. I mean, it's a simple question, man. When's Oregon going to get it done? When are they going to get it done? I mean, it seems like for as long as I've been alive, Oregon has always been this powerhouse. I mean, in high school, it was the Cali Flog. You know, all the best recruits went to Oregon out here in Cali. Always had the flyest uniforms. I mean, it's like you have all that. After all that, you know, there's no championship to show for it. You ain't got shit. So it's like, well, what are you really doing all that for? What are we always raving about y'all for? That's the question that I have for the Big 10. But again, specifically, it's Oregon. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if that gets answered this year. If they end this year with a championship ring, or if they end this year, once again, underachieving. And I think the biggest question in probably all of college football is this going to be Kalen DeBoer's last year in Alabama? Listen, Alabama has been a powerhouse since it seems like the beginning of time. And when you're spoiled with that much winning, you're not patient. Alabama fans, Alabama boosters, they are not used to finishing the season without being in the playoffs. And after that showing last year under Kalen DeBoer in his first year, I promise you, if he has another year, even close to that, he will not have a job after this season. I'm willing to bet anything that would be the case. So the second question to that is, how is he going to respond? Are we going to see a different Alabama this year, or is it going to be more of the same? And Kalen DeBoer is going to be in the unemployment line next year. That's the question that I have. Those are my big questions for each conference going into this college football season. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know some of the answers y'all may have to those questions, man. I really want to know. Let's move on to the next topic. Next up, you see the helmet right above me, man. You know we got to talk about my Bishop and my Lancers. They put the smackdown on St. Paul last week, 42-14, and they take on another unbeaten team tomorrow in a Thursday night battle with Oak Hills, who beat Highland 35-6 last week, man. A lot of y'all know at this point, I was supposed to be doing a live play-by-play commentary and doing a little live stream for Amat at their home games. That fell through. I'm just now getting over it, so I'm not going to open that can of worms. But I bring that up because on those live streams, on those broadcasts, I was going to have keys to victory for each team, and that's what I'm going to be getting into in this topic, man. It is a little preview of the game. My keys to victory for Oak Hills going into this game is, number one, you got to stop the run. You got to find a way to stop the run. Ryan Salcedo had over 200 rushing yards last week, 2 touchdowns. The running game in totality had about 270 rushing yards for 3 touchdowns, or might have been 4 touchdowns if you add in the QB sneak last week. When you talk about the running game as a whole, they didn't throw the ball much at all last week. I'm talking about the Lancers. So ultimately, Oak Hills, you got to be able to load the box and try to stop the run. Force them to throw the ball and say, if you want to beat us, you're going to have to throw that thing. Hold on. I'm talking about football now. Throw it across the field if you want to beat us. That's number one. Number two, it's a key that I think most teams who aren't used to playing in these types of environments are going to have to handle and know how to deal with going into a game at Kiefer Stadium. It's control the crowd. And the way that you do that, no dumb penalties, no negative plays, limit their explosive plays, and just really put a cap on the crowd. Don't let them get too high and get rowdy, because then it's gonna start to get difficult to play out there. I promise you. The third thing that I think Oak Hills has to do in order to have success is win in the trenches. Your O-line has to hold up strong. This is a good D-line for Bishop Amat, led by a freshman in CFB Seti. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. You're a baller, brother, so I hope I said that right, and if I didn't, please correct me. But if Oak Hills wants to have any type of success against this defense that's called by defensive coordinator Sheldon Price, they got to be able to hold up strong up front, get a push up front, run the ball. If not, Coach Price is going to dial up pressures and put some zone defense behind it, and it's going to be impossible to run anything against this defense. Moving on to the keys to victory for Bishop Amat. Number one, that secondary. I talked about it a little bit. They're a little banged up. They got some injuries, and they had some mixed cues last week against St. Paul, specifically late. And I think that this is a much more athletic team that you're gonna face in Oak Hills. They're much more athletic than last week when you played St. Paul. So you got to be able to be strong in the secondary. Maybe that means dialing up pressure, like I said, and just mixing up looks so that Oak Hills doesn't just throw the deep ball all night long on you. So that's number one for me. Number two, I want to see this Bishop Amat offense start a lot faster than they did last week. This is a Oak Hills team that put up 35 points in the first half. So if you're not going to start fast offensively, you're going to pay the price. So I want to see them win early downs. I want to see them not look as kind of confused. I know it was the first game. You got a lot of transfers, so it wasn't going to be pretty. It wasn't going to be perfect, but I want to see this offense look a lot better in the first half in order to have success against Oak Hills. And the last thing for Bishop Amat, man, I want to see them limit those penalties, have less mental errors, less miscues. I know last week was really emotional because it was a rivalry game, but if you're facing a more athletic team, a more better team this week, you're gonna pay the price for those penalties and for those lapses on mentally. So I want to see them tighten those things up and be ready to go tomorrow against Oak Hills. I think it's gonna be a really good game. I'm excited. My boy Shamar is one of the coaches over there at Oak Hills, so I'm gonna get an interview in with him. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. And yeah, those are my keys to victory for both teams. And let me know what you think in the comments.
Wide open man. A flick into the end zone by Jerome Simpson. Oh, goodness.
He's diffy, man. He's diffy. Y'all know this is my favorite segment. I'm going to buzz through this real quick, man. Let's start off, man. Cali ball, first off, is different. For all my Florida friends that trying to say Florida ball, Florida, shut up now. It's time to shut it down. It's time to give that debate up. Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, Orange Lutheran all went out to Florida and tapped that ass. So I don't want to hear it no more. Cali ball is just flat out different. We got the best ball in Cali. With that being said, one of the dudes that went out there and was just flat out different was Chris Henry Jr. I mean, come on, dog. I mean, come on. Do you see that shit? I mean, how was that first catch even? How was it even possible? That boy, Ohio State commit. I don't know how Ohio State keeps grabbing these boys. An investigation needs to be done on y'all boys. But he's flat out different. I don't even need to say that. He's flat out different. Last on, he's diffy. Maverick McLevore, I hope I'm saying that right. Quarterback out of Western Kentucky, had 401 yards and 3 touchdowns against Sam Houston. And all I'm gonna say is this. Shout out to Maverick, man. Good job. But I'm doing a dynasty right now in NCAA, and I'm Sam Houston. And to head coach Phil Longo, I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. Just settle in. It's going to be a long year because them boys over there are ass. I can't even lie to you. I'm sorry that I got to be disrespectful, but damn, man. I mean, it's bad when you can't win in a video game. I can't imagine real life. But we're turning things around. All right. I got some recruits coming in. I got the portal going in, you know. But in real life, head coach Phil Longo, man, hang in there, bud. Hang in there.
One thing.
Let's get into some predictions, man. Predictions for this upcoming weekend. Like I said, we got some good games going on in college football, but I'm going to start with the high school football, man. I talked about them earlier, so you know I got to predict the score. I got to predict who's going to win this game. Oak Hills going down to Bishop Amat. I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to be biased because, damn it, it's my show. I can do it if I fucking want to. Like, I got Bishop Amat beating Oak Hills. I think it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be a lot more of a nail biter than last week was. I got Bishop Amat winning 28-24. Next up, Los Osos versus Altaloba, man, right here in my backyard. I'm a little torn. I know both running backs, so it's like I don't know which one to pick. And so I go to, okay, who won and who didn't last week? They both won last week. Okay, who won by more points? They both put up 42 points. This one was tough to pick, but Los Osos beat Narbonne, which even though they're kind of on the ban list right now and no one's really going over there, they at least known for having at least 1 or 2 niggas over there that can play ball, you know what I'm saying? Altaloma beat Peninsula, I think it was. I never heard of them before. I'm going to go with the team that beat a team that I did hear of. So I'm going to go with Los Osos to win this game, 24-14, man. Next up, the big game of the weekend that everyone's talking about. Number 1 Texas, Arch Manning in his debut as a starter, going down to Ohio State. I'm going to take Ohio State. Fuck it. I'm going to take Ohio State. They got a guy over there. I don't know if you've heard of him. Sorry, I burped a little bit, but I'm going to keep it in. Like, I ain't editing it out. I don't know if you heard of this guy, but his name's Jeremiah Smith. And he's what I like to call a fucking animal. Like, how else do I put it? I don't know. I don't know who's going to guard that boy when they get out on the field, but we'll see. I think that it's at Ohio State. I think that Ohio State is in a way, gonna feel a little bit disrespected that they're the national champs and they don't open up as number one in the country. Texas does, just because what they have Arch Manning coming in at quarterback. I think they're gonna feel a little disrespected, and I think they're gonna go out and try to punch him in the mouth. I think Arch Manning is probably gonna have a little bit of a slow start to the season, but then he's gonna start getting the hang of it and take off from there. I got Ohio State winning this game 28-14. Next up, number 9, LSU going down to Clemson, who's ranked 4th in the country. I talked about them, Cade Klubnik, Dabo Swinney. How are they going to start it? But at the same time, Brian Kelly and Garrett Nussmeier, they you can say the same thing that I said about Clemson. You can say the same thing about LSU. I'm going to take Clemson to win this game. It's at Clemson. I think Dabo and Klubnik are out to prove something this year. I don't believe in Brian Kelly when it comes to big games, especially after last year when I picked him to beat fucking USC out of all teams, and they shit the bed. So I'm going to take Clemson to win this game. Next up, Utah taking on UCLA on the road. Nico Iamaleava, a lot has been said about him in the last week or two. He makes his debut at the Rose Bowl, back at the crib, man. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder, got a lot to prove. I just won a national championship in NCAA with UCLA. And it started with us putting belt to ass on Utah. I don't think it's going to be the same in real life, but I think I'm going to give the edge to UCLA. I think they will pull it off. I got them winning 28-24. And lastly, a little NAIA football, a little Frontier Conference football, man. 2 teams that I fucking can't stand. Montana Western going down to Butte to take on Montana Tech. This is one of those things where it's like I hate them both. I don't want to pick a winner. It's like if you ask who should be free, Diddy or R. Kelly, it's like, nigga, I wouldn't want any of them to be free, but it's like you got to pick one, right? You know, I think I'd pick R. Kelly. But I'm going to take Tech to win this game. When you look at Tech's roster, it's all juniors and seniors. Western has a lot younger team than Tech does, and Tech, they usually get a fast start, especially when they start at home, man. So I'm going to take them to win this game. It's actually tomorrow, so I might try to tune in. I definitely will not. But I got Tech winning 31-14. And with that being said, man, let's get into the part that wraps this all up. Let's get into the halftime speech.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. There's a difference. Right? There's a difference.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it. I put my heart in this dog. Let's go, man. Let's go, baby. Bro. Let's go.
Lord, just want to start your heart and find out who you really are. Make sure you look at your teammate today and you come out and you give pure hell today. This team ain't ready for us. Let's prove that they ain't ready for us. Oh, get in here. Let's go. Get in here right now. Get in here. Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. 30 minutes for the rest of our lives.
You see that little compilation, man. It's guys getting their team fired up to finish the game, to finish the last 2 quarters. And that's what this is, man. We in the middle of the week or whatever day that you're watching this on. This is a little nugget to help you finish your day, your week, your month, your year, wherever you are in life right now. Hopefully this helps just a little bit, man. My halftime speech for you is to understand the difference between God telling you no and God telling you just be patient. Just wait for a second, all right? I got a quick little story. As I mentioned, I work for Fox Sports. When I came home in November, I thought I just had my own plan, my own agenda. I said, I'm going to apply to all these jobs that I think I'm qualified for, and at least one of them is going to call me back and hire me. None of them did. I mean, I'm pretty sure I applied to over 20 jobs all in the same field and nobody hit me back. I actually the other day just got an email back from an application I submitted in November. So to that company, but you know, I got discouraged. Thinking that it's God telling me, you know, that this isn't truly my career path, and that bummed me out because this is what I went to college for. This is what I've been working hard for. This is why I do these videos for. And to get told no abruptly, you know, it really discouraged me. It really rattled me. But all God was doing was telling me to wait, be patient, trust in him, submit everything to him, and just be patient. And once I finally did that, boom, a week later, I get an email saying that my boss at Fox Sports wants to set up an interview. And that's just one of the many examples there are out there. of God's timing just being, he's always on time. We're just always trying to rush things, and we're always trying to speed the process up, and we just gotta wait. We just gotta trust in him, and he gonna ultimately deliver, and he ultimately is gonna answer every single prayer, man. That's the halftime speech. That's Halftime with Dizzy, episode 1, 2025, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please like, please subscribe. Please let me know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like, what you agreed with, what you didn't agree with, and we'll talk about it all in the next show next week, man. Just stay tuned. I have another video for you real soon.